Happy New Year, everybody. It's the 1st of January, 2010. Hope everybody had a safe night out last night. I know I did, because I didn't go anywhere. Sat at home. I got 2 kids and a wife. Been married a long time. Just don't go out anymore. We just kind of take it easy and watch the Dick Clark thing on TV. Anyway, today, you're replacing that fuel sending unit that is defective. You see the old one is down in there. And here is my new one. And you can see, there's my fuel. Woo! It is working beautifully. So sending unit's fine, but however, when you go all the way down to empty, my little fuel light still does not come on. So I'm not worried about that as long as my gas gauge works. So anyway, this is one of those Meller or something like that, universal ones. So what I need to do is I need to get that out of there and measure the depth of the tank from the top to the bottom, and then it has on this universal deal, it has instructions on the back to be able to cut the right length of this rod so that way it works properly. So I'm gonna get that thing out and see what we got. Okay, I got all the screws out. Let's see what we got. Nice. How in pretty tell does that come out of there? It's a little float. Ah, there we go. Awesome. So that's the little floaty bob thing. Oh man, and it's got like a lot of resistance on it. It's got like, when it hits right there, it catches. Interesting. That could be what's wrong with it. Cool. Alright, well, I'm going to go get my tape measure. Ooh, nice. Looks like there's a lot of, let me turn the light on here. Alright, you see in there, there's a lot of corrosion around this seal. Let's see how bad that is. Yeah, looks like I'm going to have to kind of scrub that off. Alright, I'm going to get my tape measure and measure the length of the depth of the tank so we can figure out how long to make this rod. Alright, so what I have determined is that the tank is 7 and just over a 1/4 inches deep. And per the instructions, it says to use the next measurement up, which is, you can see, 7.5 inches. So that means that the arm needs to be 5 13 sixteenths from the sender. So I'm going to measure that from right here. I'm guessing. They don't really say, but I guess they mean the whole length of the arm from here to there. So that's what I'm going to measure off, and then it says to take and push the entire thing up to match that, and then snip it off. And they said do not push these the wrong way, or push them once, and once you've figured out how far you want them, stop, because you can't take them back. So let me do that. We'll mark off this and slide it up. Alright, so you can see my little green mark down there is at 5 13 sixteenths from there. So it said to push a little bit past it, so therefore I can slide this other retainer up just past this and leave 5 sixteenths, and then leave a little bit of play between the float and the little retainers. Okay, so I slid it up and cut off the excess, left just a teensy bit of play around it to allow it to do that and go up and down. So now I'm going to tackle all that corrosion. So I'm gonna scrape it off, sand it down, make it look real good. Alright, about 10 minutes of scraping. I used a chisel and to kind of scrape the top stuff off, and then I stuck my hand in there with a 100 grit sandpaper and just basically kind of sanded it all down, trying to make sure I didn't put anything down inside the hole. Looks like there is some stuff down in there, some crud and some trash. But, you know, it's probably just left over. It was there when I pulled the sender out. Guess what they make a fuel filter for, right? But anyway, I'm going to stick this back in there with its new gasket and everything like that. And these things are kind of in a star pattern, so it only goes on one way. So, kind of nice. No guessing. So, I'm going to put it in. Well, that wasn't too bad. It took me a little while to get the holes exactly lined up. Seemed like every which way I tried, it wasn't working. I was like, man, what did I do? Buy the wrong piece? Well, once you get it to line up, it lines up perfectly. It screws right down. And each one of the new screws that it came with had like a little bit of pookie on the end of the screw head, I guess, to kind of help give it a good seal. It says don't tighten it down, so I did it to 15 inch-pounds of torque to make sure that it's nice and good and sealed. It says to pressure test it. I guess before we take it out on the lake this year, I'll take it up to the marina and have them run a real pressure test to make sure it's sealed nicely. But my dash is showing half a tank. See, it goes off, goes on, and if you shake it, you can see it does move. So it is reading, and that's where I had was about, a little over a half a tank whenever I put it in storage or started taking it apart. So hopefully that's about what I remember correctly, but we'll see come spring, get it in there. At least it shows me what's going on. So as you can see, it's not hard to replace a fuel sending unit. It takes a little bit of time, a little bit of thinking to measure out everything right, to get it correct, but not hard at all.